And we're live. Hello, everybody.
Oh, no accent today. Happy Tuesday. Happy
I haven't
Tuesday.
I haven't got to it
Happy
yet.
Tuesday.
How's
Today
everybody?
we got such a great treat, and I do emphasize the word treat today on the show. And by the time we get done with this show, everybody's going to be hungry. Guarantee it, because I'm already hungry. So, Keela, do me a favor. Give us a little glimpse of the magnificence that we have as guests today.
Well, we have Miss Shanae and Miss Clarice Jordan. You guys can't hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
My sound just popped out, but go ahead. I
Oh.
can hear you now.
Um so we have, and they are the owners of Lillie Bell's, which I frequent a lot. So they have the best food. Today we're gonna show you. If you haven't had it, you'll probably want to try it. So
Mhm.
let's roll on with the show. But before we do start with the show, I do want to give a sincere prayer out for Baltimore. The thing that happened in Baltimore was very sad, disturbing, and just want to pray for the victims and the families of the victims and anybody affected by that.
Mhm.
We want to send out our love and our prayers.
Yeah,
We
and
want
it
to
was
start there.
very unfortunate because that ship that hit it was just a total accident.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, we will definitely lift up the people in our prayer time. So,
Absolutely.
okay, so now that we had to bring the show back up because you hit us with some something like that.
I wanted to do that.
Before we get started, what we always do is we scratch the show in, and today we are scratching Mr. Ramsey Lewis.
Okay.
The late great Ramsey Lewis. I understand that this is well beyond Keela's time, so I have to explain to her who Ramsey Lewis is. He
It
is
would be their time too then.
really gosh. Okay, so Ramsey Lewis
Right.
Ramsey Lewis is almost responsible for the group that we call Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
Because,
Okay.
yeah, because Maurice White was in the Ramsey Lewis trio as a drummer, and then Maurice White, who is the founder of Earth, Wind, and Fire, started a band, and he used to call himself the Salty Peppers. That didn't fly. And then he decided to say, hey, look, I'm going to name it after my astrological sign, blah, blah, blah. He got his brothers, got all these bands, and they made consecutive bangers like almost every summer. So that was due to Mr. Ramsey Lewis. Mr. Ramsey Lewis is known for songs like Sun Goddess, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Mm.
That's not Sun Goddess, but that's what that's Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
Sun Goddess is okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just trust me.
Okay. Okay.
Trust me, it's a banger.
So
So
that is the one thing that you did not tell them. So
when go ahead.
when he asked us where are we going today, we all together say all the way there.
Yes. So I'm gonna ask you guys now, where are we going to today?
All the way there.
Where are we going today? All the way there.
Well, welcome back, everybody. How are you?
Well, how are you?
Great,
Okay. We got another foreign accent. Okay, we're gonna get this thing started, but before we go, we got to ask the intro question, which we call the icebreaker. And the icebreaker today is always related to the show. Icebreaker today is, who is that one person who by leaps and bounds, by countrywide miles, is the best cook you've ever experienced? Ladies first, guests first.
Yes.
I still ain't heard of like. I'm just gonna go whatever she say.
It would have to be my grandmother,
Okay.
Mhm.
Mary L. Nerm.
Okay.
Cook everything from scratch.
Really?
Biscuits. Yeah, she would do. She was the one that introduced us to all of the like vegetables, squash, zucchini. She would make okra, corn, and tomatoes.
That's my favorite.
All of those vegetables that we didn't like back then, she made us eat, and we appreciate now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that part, and like some chicken. Oh my God, fried. Oh my God, she made all her cakes from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Everything was scratch with the flour and the and doing everything.
She made ice cream.
She made homemade ice cream.
Oh,
Wow.
my grandmother too.
Okay. She made my favorite German chocolate cake.
Mhm.
Her pies, peach cobbler, apple pie, zucchini bread, all scratch. Yeah.
Wow.
See, that's what I like.
Good. Yeah. So she would have to be outside of Lillie Bell's, of course.
Right?
She was the one. She was it. Yeah.
Mhm.
She was it. So
You going with that, Miss Shanae?
I'm gonna go with that.
So I'm kind of like you. Like all the women in my family pretty much can cook. Well, there is one, I won't say her name, but she know who she is. She is not a cook. Like she is the one that go around and ask people to like take her stuff home. But for the most part,
that's what she said.
for the most part, everybody can cook, but like she said, I'll have to go back to like the head matriarch because that's who taught everybody. And everybody cook from scratch. Once you learn how to cook, there is no measurements. There is no, you cook from the soul, and that's pretty much been passed down to everybody. So I'm going to start with my great grandmother, my grandmother, on down to my mother. And it just keeps being passed on. My daughter is actually a really good cook as well. So it's just passed on. Everybody can cook. Like there's nobody's house that I would go to and say, I'll wait till I leave, before I eat. So we all can cook. Everybody's pretty good. So I would say my grandmother. Everything was from scratch, like she said. Homemade ice cream. Now, Shanae, you might not remember because you were a little younger, but we had to sit out there with that churn thing. I mean, the only reward was knowing you was gonna get that ice cream at the end.
Yeah.
But I remember churning that thing. And I'm like, is my turn up yet? Yes.
Yeah. She wrote her recipes down on index cards, and she had an index card holder. And my cousin has it to this day.
Oh wow, that is so awesome!
Wow. Before I go and say mine, the superhero is here, Mr. Vern Sanders. He said, I'm a Lillie Bell's OG. I feel like I exposed my thousands of fans to Lillie Bell.
Period.
So I was like this like really good basketball player, right? And so I went up to dunk on this guy, right? And I dunked on him and I broke my finger. So I had to heal. So I couldn't play basketball. So I had to make a decision. Do I just wait on this to heal and just wait and play basketball? Or I can go learn how to cook. So I learned how to cook, right? And so I got so good at it, right? That I went to this cooking school and, I didn't even have to graduate. They just told me, you're well beyond us. And I was like, huh. And then he said, what's your specialty? I said, well, I love this. I'm kind of a little Italian. So I cook spaghetti like out of this world, right? And it was like, man, cook your spaghetti. So I cooked my spaghetti. So my answer is me. But anyway, I cooked my spaghetti, and they were like, "Man, I've never tasted spaghetti like this." In
Neither
fact,
have I, guys.
I have a
I
I have
haven't
a
tasted
picture.
it yet.
I have a picture. I have a picture of myself in the class when I made it. So, but quite seriously, my grandmother is the best. When she made a mistake, everybody wanted to know what did you do different, because she was just the best. And that was my grandmother as well. So grandmothers all around. And you were talking about ice cream, and you were saying, Chanel, you don't know about the churning. Man, down south, when we went down south, we used to have to take a cow outside and milk the
You know
cow.
what?
No, I
make
did
ice cream
that.
like that.
I milked a cow before. It
Oh,
was
you
a school field trip, I think.
Right, exactly. That's where I did it too. And my grandmother lived on a farm.
Yeah,
You know,
I was on the farm.
we
And I had
used to milk the cow on the snow to make the ice cream.
What?
You know what, Aaron? You know, a God is
But
listening.
anyway, this show is all about Lillie Bell's. Lillie Bell Restaurant. If you want some really good soul food, and I won't even limit it to soul food. If you want some really good food and reasonably priced and some very good desserts, you owe it to yourself to visit Lillie Bell's. We have the owners of Lillie Bell's, Shanae Jordan and Miss Clarice Jordan, a mother and daughter team who are owners of Lillie Bell's. And we welcome you guys to the show. And we wanted, first question I always ask is, what's the origin of Lillie Bell's? How did it start?
So Lillie Bell's is my my great grandmother, or Lillie Bell is my great grandmother. So that's who taught my dad how to cook, and then my dad taught me how to cook.
Okay.
So that's where that comes from.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. So I remember being young. I think I was about 10 years old when I started cooking.
Okay.
I burnt up a bunch of chicken. But then I remember watching, my mom and my dad and my grandmother in the kitchen, and it just kind of became a knack for me.
Okay.
So, as I got a little bit older, we started off just doing like dinners. So we would go to like barbershops, beauty salons, and all kinds of places. Corporate, yeah, and just kind of sell dinners.
Were you guys one of the people who went to the plant and did it too?
So we actually worked at the plant. We worked at GM.
Oh, okay.
My mom, it was myself, my mom, and my brother. We all worked at GM together in the call center.
Wow.
Yeah. And so GM, so we were up under Aerotech at the time. Mm-hmm. And they put on an event for the employees to say, hey, if there's anybody who wants to showcase whatever hobby they have, they put on like a vendor show. And so we said, oh, we can cook. So let's bring some food up there and see what happens. And it was
right.
So we did soul food, we did loaded potatoes, and we did salads and strawberry banana pudding. And they loved it. Mm-hmm. And so to where it became a thing. So like every weekend or every Friday, we would get orders, from people from GM who would want to order the food from us. So it kept growing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So how did that form into, hey, you know what? Let's start a restaurant. Name it after grandmama.
So let me go back. Okay, so it started growing from GM, and then we actually stopped, and then it was during COVID, which was, I want to say 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And because we had stopped for a while. It had been a couple years, because what I'm talking about, that was back in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So when 2020 COVID happened, I noticed that it's a lot of people out here who don't have the knowledge of how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't know. So I have, and it kind of happened on accident. I had made up a strawberry banana pudding. A lot of people know me for the banana pudding, and I posted it on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I haven't had this in a while. Mm-hmm. And people were like, make me one. I was like, well, I don't want to try to do that. But right. So I put it out there, and I said, we should start doing the dinners again. Mm-hmm. And she was like, okay. So Yeah, so we put it out there on Facebook and had a menu, put that out there. Vern was one of the first people to order.
Of course. Of course.
So that was back in 2020. So and this was right in the heart of COVID. So it got to a point where, as she would say, we was tearing the kitchen up, me and my dad, because we were getting so many orders. It was growing. And then she had found the liquor store.
Okay.
And that's when you tell that story better because I wasn't there.
Somebody fill in the gaps.
Right.
Fill in the gaps here. Okay, first of all, I was just waiting. See how I did that? I ain't interrupted nothing. That was good, wasn't it? I'm always trying to. I'm really working on not interrupting anybody when they talk. So, Janae Jordan is a hustler like her mom and dad. Janae would cook food and take it to high school.
Oh yeah,
sell it. Chicken wings.
I did, and Master and banana pudding. I used to cook.
Pudding.
Yep, I used to be at school.
In high school.
Yep,
and it's just, as we tell this story, and you think back, and this is to a lot of people that you're on for younger people, and you don't know exactly where you're headed or where you're going or what you're going to do in life. I was one of those people, but you'll find yourself going in that direction and not even knowing it.
Yep.
Think back in high school, she was selling food.
I sure was.
She would wrap it up in an aluminum foil and take it to school, and they would, buy it from her, and they would love it. Put it in your backpack. Love it.
I would get up early
in the morning before school and fry chicken.
Really?
Frying wingdings. Yeah.
Really?
Wow. And at high school, they gonna buy that food.
Oh yeah,
it was because they didn't like the cafeteria food,
right?
So I was like, well, I could bring some food up here, and they was like, okay. And I got up early. I was getting up because I can't remember what time I think my school started at like 7:45.
Early.
So I would get up really early and be frying chicken.
That's what's up.
You were fried at the school or home?
At home.
Fried.
I would fry
before.
Yep. And I had little pockets of wings in my book bag.
Yep.
Wow. It was sell the wings at school.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, all I can remember is our kitchen being tore up, and I was the cleanup crew.
Right.
They come through there like a whirlwind, and they doing their thing, and just stuff is just everywhere. And so I was like, we got to find a place because I'm not gonna keep having them mess this kitchen up.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
because
really
we were growing and we were getting more and more and more orders from people. I was like, I gotta find somewhere, and so I just happened to go into the store. Into New Abbey and saw that the space was available.
Wow.
And kind of another, key point too is I stayed on them about it, and because I'll never forget this. When I inquired about it, they just kind of like, their eyes. He never looked up at me. Just looked down, and he said, "You have to talk to my brother about it." And I was like, "Okay," and I was just very persistent. Called, came back up there, looked for his brother, just stayed on it, come back. Left, okay, can't do it right now. We're doing a lottery. Can't do it right. And I just stayed on him, and I got his number, and I called. And then finally they said, okay, let's, work out a deal. So it wasn't like an overnight thing.
Right.
COVID hit. I'm still working with them. I'm still just putting it into play. Okay, we got to get insurance. Okay, we got to register our name. Okay, we got to do this. We got to pay, all of this stuff, even though COVID hit. And I think one of them may have got COVID at that time too. But I just kept at it. And then he finally said, okay. So when we went in and we talked to him, he said that there were so many people who came in and inquired about this space, but they never, pursued it, or they just about it. They didn't, actually continue on to try to actually get it. So I think that was his apprehension, because people talk and people say whatever. But what I'm trying to let people know is just stay on and be persistent at whatever it is you want to do, and do that. Don't give up, because just thinking about it now, like if I would have gave up, I don't know, but I just stayed on it. So
and you guys are in a central location, and I'm going to tell you, it be it is hot in there. I'm like, first of all, I want to feel like I'm VIP. Like before Shanae leave church, can you put my order in?
Right.
So it'll be ready when I get there
You know,
because
that's what your sister do.
I know.
They will call. It's been so funny because they'll come and I'm like, hey, Shanae, and I'm up there prepping like after church, and she'll call or she'll text her order. I'll be like, okay, so her order is the first ticket on Sunday.
Girl, well, I'm gonna be the second ticket.
Right.
I tell you, those people. From one, it's always crowded, okay, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful problem to have if you're gonna have a problem. But you have repeat customers, and I'm not gonna even lie. Every time I come in there, it's a customer that I'm sitting at that side table with that you meet, that they're sitting there waiting. So everybody is just on this happy thing waiting for the food, but it all has to really come from the customer service because if the customer service is not like that, then you're gonna you're creating your vibe in the store, you know what I mean? So it's always great, and I've always had the pleasure to sit and talk to your mother, which is your grandmother, which is such a small world because she ended up knowing my mom just in general conversation. And so it was kind of like, she'll sit there, it's just such a family tight, close things. But I'm gonna tell y'all, when I leave Lillie Bell's, this is what I do because this is how important this is to me. Okay. This is my food. It goes in a seatbelt. I don't want no problems.
Right.
If I have to suddenly stop, I don't want to have to pick my food up off the floor. I want that safe. You know what I'm saying? But I know, Aaron, you have some other questions.
Okay,
so a list of them.
Yeah, so the location. We have to tell people where you guys are. And it's a place that I have always frequented. I go to a lot of places over there. So it's 25030 Southfield Road, and it's in a strip mall, but it's inside of a liquor store. In the strip mall. Now, it's at 10 Mile in Southfield, right? And then the northeast corner, right? And so I go there all the time because I get my cologne down the row.
Oh, okay.
I go and look at the suits at the place a couple of doors down. And I'm always there, but since I don't drink liquor and I don't do a lot of liquor store buying, I never went in there until Keela said the restaurant's in there, and I'm like, and it was like the Wizard of Oz showed up. Oh,
what?
Right here? Right. The day I went in there, the day we all went in there, it was more customers for you guys than it was for the liquor store. So I know they're happy that you're here because when we get food from you guys, it's like, well, let's get something to drink at the liquor store. So
right.
Too. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really love helping out businesses, Black businesses, and I really like seeing them grow. So you guys were just like spot on for the kind of stuff that we like to do. So can you guys tell us what kind of food can our family, the All the Way There family, can expect to see on the menu?
So we have we just introduced turkey chops. What was that, last year?
Turkey
or last year? Wait, what we at?
We're in 2024.
She said, what year is it?
Yeah, 2024. Yeah, I think it was
last year. We introduced turkey chops. We had an overwhelming demand for turkey chops. And I never knew what a turkey chop was. And I'm like, what? Because people didn't want pork chops. So the turkey chops have become popular. So we have turkey chops. We do lamb chops, catfish, fried chicken, the smothered pork chops, rib tips. All of we make everything fresh by the day. That's another thing that sets us apart too. So when we're prepping, it's just for that day. It's not for multiple days ahead. So when it's gone, it's gone.
But that's kind of the beauty of that, because I mean, if you really want to eat good, and if they tell you it's gone, you're gonna make it your business to be up there on time next time.
And that's what they do every Sunday. So on Sundays we open at 2. We run out of food at 4 o'clock.
Right.
Because they're coming because they know that when it's gone, it's gone.
Aaron, you should know you ordered that one thing and that lady was like, "That's it."
Yeah, that's it. We ain't got no more. And then but we paid for it. No, but it was
yeah, she was like,
right. And I feel so bad because every day it's really, really hard. We don't know how many people are coming for the day. We don't know how much to prepare for. All I can do is guess. Right. And so when I do my best guess, right, and put it out there and just kind of see what happens, and every day something's getting sold out every day.
Yeah.
Right. I can't, there's no way for us to predict that. Right. And people get upset. And I'm like, well, I didn't know that y'all was coming in here. Like,
well, the good thing is she accommodated us. She was like, well, I could give you this if you want this. So it wasn't all was not lost.
Right.
Top sellers though, catfish.
Yeah, the catfish.
Seller, and we have been blessed to be able to say that since we've been open.
Yep, the top sides, the mac and cheese. Mac yams and greens are the top
mac
sides.
Yam and greens is top. Catfish, lamb chops.
Oh, that catfish.
Wings. Smothered pork chops, and then turkey chops, and then the loaded potatoes. To give me all you got. The New Orleans, which is Cajun shrimp, and then the chicken.
Yeah. So it's funny because a lot of people only see, we have a whole like menu, but they only see like the soul food section. Right. The potatoes too.
Yeah, but a lot of people come for the soul food.
They're coming for the soul food.
And that's that's good.
Yeah, potatoes are popular too though.
Yeah. Potatoes are very popular.
So you guys have certain things on your menu that are only from this time to this time.
Yeah. Right? Just the value meal, or what most people call the lunch special. So it's just a half order of the entree and one side from 12 to
Okay. That's pretty nice for those who don't want the full meal. But
you want the full menu.
Right. Well, I'm talking about like if they want to eat lunch.
It's just a quick little snack situation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you over. All right.
So, Mr. Popular Time frequents your store. And he came in and he like came into Detroit and had Detroit, he just tossed it upside down because he came through here like lightning. And so he had some people mad and he had some people glad, and he was definitely entertainment to say the least.
Yeah.
But he gave you guys some great reviews.
Yep, he did.
Really?
And he gave
stressed out.
I was stressing me out. I said, "Oh my Lord and Savior, this girl ain't gonna worry me about this man coming in here." And when he didn't come, I didn't even tell her. I told her after he left. She was like, "What?" Yeah, because
she would have been unhinged had she knew.
I know, right. So that's why I didn't even tell her. I told her after he left. He left.
Wow. And so, what did he say?
That was crazy.
He gave his review, and so there was another restaurant that people were confusing them with, and they didn't get a good review. So people thought that they were speaking about them. But when I watched their review, I was like, "Oh, he gave them a good review," and I'm like, "Okay, I see y'all out here."
Right.
Well, I mean, I guess the return customers, their reviews are louder than Mr. Time, right?
Very true. And that was something else that I made note of too, because I'm like, okay, he's here. He's not from here.
Right.
So I have to cook for who's here.
Yeah.
So I can't solely base everything that we do off of this one person. It's like, thank you, Mr. Time, for coming out, but I gotta worry about who here. Because that's who's coming back.
Yeah.
The thing I always say about food critics, I mean, he's made it obviously fun. It's what he do. He travels and he do it. But everybody's palate is different. Everybody's taste is different. I may like their greens and I may like their yams, or vice versa. So it's really one person that's saying what they like and what they do not like. And it was certain things that even just tasting other people's food when, he were making comments like, well, I never had this like this. So because he was from a different state, you know what I mean? They didn't prepare it like that. So I'm always a little just a little kind of irritated with people who run with the person who gave a bad critic. I'm gonna have to go taste it for myself.
Right.
You know, unless the only way I probably won't go is if he's probably like the 5th or 6th person I heard say that. But other than that, I'm getting my own experience,
Yeah. And so tell us what your hours are, because I'm getting hungry now, and I know that I can't go now because I'm looking at y'all. So when can people come into Lillie Bell's and get stuffed?
So Wednesday through Sunday, on Mondays and Tuesdays, we are closed. Okay. Wednesday, so it's Wednesday through Wednesday and Thursday 12 to 8, Friday, Saturday 12 to 9, and Sunday 2 to 7.
12 to 9 only for spring,
summer.
Fall, winter is in
12 to 8.
12 to 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we notice around this time of the year, we've been getting a lot of people who are coming later. So they're coming like say if we were to close at 8, they're coming at 7 or 7:30. And it's forcing us 7:55
or 8:05.
And it's forcing us to stay open later.
Close at 8.
Right, because they're eating later.
Yeah.
Something about this time of the year, people are eating later. So it's forcing us to kind of stay open.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we wanted to show you guys our first time experience. Well, mine. I don't know if Keila went before I did.
Yeah, because I've had it, I'm a professional. I'm a professional Lillie Bellian.
Okay.
Love it.
So, you ready, sir?
So what we did was we did this little composite of the things that we ate, and we gave you guys our little review.
Yeah, since we couldn't do Mr. Chime Time's video, we did our own video.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the official All the Way There podcast review of Lillie Bell. I got catfish. What is this? Catfish sticks, right?
Strips.
Those are good. Okay. So, sweet potatoes. They look good.
You have the yams.
Yams. Yams are good. Yams are good. Not too sweet. Baked beans. Fresh out the bag. Still good. I would buy again. Good. I like it.
So I'm gonna taste the mac and cheese, which I kind of have already tasted, but since I got this today, I'm gonna taste it again. It's super cheesy. So if you like super cheesy, you'll love those. Now, I'll be the first to say I don't know how people get a turkey chop. So this is a turkey chop. It's actually pretty good. I think it's a great substitute if you're not trying to do pork or something. I already know the greens are good because I've had these before, but I'm just gonna do them for the video. And them greens are fine.
But overall, Lillie Bell gets an A from me. I would go back and I would try something totally different just to get another experience, get it from another angle.
I like everything. I've never had a turkey chop, so I would probably go back to my traditional, which I think I order like either the lamb chops or the chicken. Those are always my go-tos. But I'm gonna definitely go back and visit again. Well, this is like my 5th, 6th, or 7th time there. So I guess that means I'll be back.
Right. That was nice. That was nice.
So
You
I
got
was taking all my food.
You
That-
just-
yeah, that was real nice.
yeah. See, you won't find that on the Barely OGs. Okay.
Yeah. I just want to every opportunity that I get, I just want to thank everybody who comes out and supports us. From all over. I mean, from like Ohio, North Carolina. One young lady was from Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah. Just everywhere.
There, yeah.
From the South, and just
somebody
far.
left us a review. They were visiting here from New Orleans.
New Orleans, they sure did.
And New Orleans,
and I was like, I was kind of scared.
Exactly.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I got a little like, whoa.
We was like,
and then I read it. I'm like, oh, okay.
She said, yeah.
So
she said she loved it. She said, from being from New Orleans, they can cook out there in New Orleans.
Yeah.
She said this was really, really good.
So thank you. I just want to thank everybody. Everybody who like it, everybody who don't like it, whatever the case may be. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate everybody that has come through and tried our food. So I put that.
Now we have some members of the All the Way There family. As soon as they see stuff on the show, they go straight there. Mr. Crystal, Mr. Antoine, they go straight there. Now Antoine owns his own business. He makes sauces and seasoning. Yeah, and the name of his store is MFer.
Okay.
For
it stands for more flavor.
Okay.
And he loves to always kind of patronize places that we show here. So expect him, expect Crystal, expect Mrs. Graham, because she's very, very supportive. So but you know what? One of the things that I wanted to ask you guys is when I got there, I saw about 20,000 people in that little spot.
Right.
Oh, you talking about behind the counter? Or in front?
Yeah, behind the counter.
So that's
we go. Right.
That's our family, right?
Some of it is family. Some of it, we've been blessed to been able to hire more employees. Yeah. So, but yeah, for the most part, it's like half family, half our employees.
Yeah.
And we make it work in that little spot.
Right. You do what you gotta do, and in the meantime, in between time, y'all selling dinners like hotcakes.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys have come a long way from cooking at 6 a.m. fried chicken for high school.
Right.
That is a long way, and it just shows when you can hire help. So we're really proud of you guys. And now, one of the things, another question I had was, I was going to say that those people everybody had their duty, everybody had their thing, and it was like everybody just knew the vision, and you can see it. And I was observing the customers that would come in, and you knew who was coming for the liquor store, and you knew who was coming for Lillie Bell's, and everybody had that hungry look, like their grandmother was cooking. And that's what I noticed, because everybody, no matter how much you guys said how much the wait would be, they waited.
They wait.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I actually get mad that they wait.
I had a couple more minutes to see if they go.
And I'm like, you still want to wait?
I'll be like, okay, whatever my number pops up. All right. I'll be like 55 minutes. They be like, okay.
Yeah, because somebody like me, I'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna run over to this other store.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I'll be right back.
And that's the thing that we have to clarify. There's a difference between being slow and being busy.
Yes, it really is.
The difference between cooking your food made to order,
right?
we do.
Right. And
Not
that's what
sitting
extends.
up under a lamp,
Right.
not waiting
That is the truth. And I will say,
you have to wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
you have to be cooked.
And it's fresh. Every time you get it, it's
and I
hot,
have to express
you know?
that.
Mhm.
Like we're cooking it, you know. So that's the difference. That's why you have to
That's why you
wait.
have to
Coupled
wait.
with the fact that you have several orders ahead of yours.
Mhm.
And like my son always says, we're not fast food.
right.
We're not.
That's the truth.
We are not fast food. Now, some things we can get out if you want a veggie plate and you just, want on sides.
Right.
Okay, we can knock that out for you. But if we're talking lamb chops, catfish, fried wings, fried pork chops,
It's like when you
fried
order
turkey chops, then we got to cook that.
Yeah. When you order it, that's when we cook it. And
Exactly.
I feel like that's the better way to serve people, so that when you, even though you wait it, it's hot when you get it.
Right.
And I feel like that's better anyway, because I'm gonna tell you, anybody who have gotten some fish or some chicken from under a burning lamp, that lamp gives it the most beautiful glow ever.
Yep.
And then you get it and you bite into it and it tastes like it's been there for 3 days.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm hot, mad, cook my stuff fresh. So those are the things that if you want something quality, like somebody said in a comment, you are definitely going to wait for it.
So let's hit some of these comments, because let's go up. Yep. I was well, you can go up higher than that, because Mr. Anton Lewis said we did a good review.
Okay.
I don't know where you said it, and yeah, good review. And then you can go down. Miss Michelle Renee Spencer Pickens says everything looks good. She also asked where you were located. We also gave her that. Miss Stephanie Love Justin Gator said, I'm going to try it again.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Anton says two things down. Says we will wait when it's good.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Miss Michelle says, yes, we will. I like my food hot and fresh. She said, I will wait for sure. I love it. Just dry under. She said, Anton said, just dry under the
man.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking about like desert dry. And that food lamp makes it look glorious. But yeah, I like that everything comes straight out of the grease. And that's another thing too. Like what you made the comment about, it's a difference between being busy and being slow, because you have been to some restaurants and you see them standing around and you like, where is my food? But nobody is standing around in your store.
We moving. It's a marathon.
Yeah, I got a system. Somebody doing the side, somebody doing this. So that is absolutely accurate about that statement.
Now, one thing we didn't touch on in our review, we only talked about the food, but we also have to make mention of the customer service. It was A1. It was just, everybody was so friendly and nice. And even when we was joking around about, well, you ran out of not macaroni, because I had some mashed potatoes and gravy.
You wanted mashed potatoes,
gone. And I started messing with it. I was like, well, we paid for you. And she was like, oh, well, I was like, I'm just joking with you. Really nice. And everybody's very pleasant.
And you know me, I'm like, who orders mashed potatoes? You know, he like, but he ordered but clearly other people do too, because they ran out.
Right.
Why are you making me sound like? But so let's touch on a little bit of the sweets, because Keela is a sweet eater. And so I'm not. I'm not.
That's why I look like I got acorns in my cheeks now.
Can we give people a little rundown of what the sweet eaters can expect when they walk in?
Yeah, so we have strawberry banana pudding. We have plain banana pudding with no strawberries on it, peach cobbler, and 7-Up pound cake.
And that's made when we order, or that's something that you can go out the door?
So that you can go out the door with it. That's already made up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said he was a cook. Now, no, you can't bake no cake.
Bake the cake when you order.
Let's move forward.
So y'all want a piece of cake? Okay, let me go ahead back here and bake it. Right. So okay, it's gonna take you an hour to get one.
Exactly.
But that speaks to the level of preparation that you guys have to have in order to meet the needs of these people coming in.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
okay, so the desserts can be done early, but
Right.
when they come in, like you said, it's hard to estimate who's going to want what.
Mhm.
So it speaks to the preparation and the behind the scenes hustle that you guys have to have in
Yeah.
order to meet a daily demand.
Yeah, it took time to get to that point because I remember when we first started in that store, I would make up maybe like 4 pans of mac and cheese, the half pans of mac and cheese. And that would carry us through the whole day. Now I'm at 15 pans of mac and cheese for one day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
And
15 pans?
the half pans.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have like I said, it started off with this is when we first started.
We were so
first
happy.
open. We were so happy. We were like, oh my God, this is great. Four people came in today.
So happy.
I was just like, okay. So yeah, so it'll be 4 pans of mac and cheese, maybe like 1 pot of greens. What else we do? Like
green beans. We couldn't sell
green bean. We couldn't sell a green bean. Green bean just sitting there.
And now we can't keep a green bean.
No,
Right.
No. So
Yeah.
now, like fast forward, because like we say, it takes time. Nothing is going to happen overnight. If we would have gave up
Yeah.
back then from only having like we would go to we would just be sitting there. And nobody was like, okay.
We would sit there. We would do the basketball.
Yeah,
we
would be playing basketball in the garbage.
Bob would be dancing because he can dance real
We
good.
just turn music on and we just be chilling
and just telling jokes and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I'll walk down to Swank is next door. I'll go to Swank.
Come back.
Yeah.
And it used to be
No
like,
more.
Right. Can't do it anymore.
All those activities that we used to do
over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but like if we would have quit back then, we would not have got to where we are now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Absolutely.
That's the beauty in it, just to let people know you got to keep at it. You got to keep at it, especially when it's something that you're called to do is going to be blessed every
Yeah.
every single
The Bible says, "Despise not small beginnings."
That's the
Yep.
truth.
You know, when God put it on it has to. It's like seed time and harvest. It's a seed.
Mhm.
Needs time, and then when that harvest comes, you have to be ready.
You know,
Like, exactly. And I wasn't ready. I'm telling you that right now.
She ain't never ready though. She is
No.
never ready.
So we were-
always the
because-
last person to the car when we going out of town. She the last one. She's never ready. So I don't do like the cooking stuff. I'm like always been like the behind the scenes person.
Uh-huh.
Numbers, numbers, management, business. That's my thing. I were little, but when they got grown up, you on your own now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can kind of gauge it, but it took me a minute to gauge how much they should be, cooking. Now, and it was like the 4, okay.
Yeah, we went from,
but as we went on,
4,
it's like these 4 now huge pots of greens.
Yep, because
Right.
one small pot,
pots.
literally
Little
the
small
pot that you
pot.
have at home.
Yeah.
It was a
Wow.
little pot of greens. And we went from that to a big pot of greens.
For commercial,
The commercial size pot. And then now I'm doing 4 of those commercial. We had to buy more pots. Now I'm doing 4 of those pots of greens in a day.
Wow.
And 15 pans of macaroni a day, 6 pans of the deep pans of yams in a day. And I'm just like,
yeah,
Girl.
it's a blessing.
Yeah.
We are definitely truly grateful. But it's great to be on this show, and it's great to be able to look back at where we came from and to where
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, God, just give Him all the glory for it because
Yes.
yeah.
So do you see yourself expanding out of that place?
I see us as keeping that place for as long, until and then having another place. Because I said that
you're probably not gonna leave the store.
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do what?
I would leave the store. Just leave it and then go somewhere else.
No.
I would keep it and have another location. So
Okay.
have a location.
Gotcha.
I love it because that's a hot spot.
It is.
It's a hot
That
spot.
strip is just
that whole strip is popular.
Yeah, it is.
And that, you know, that was, and it was crazy when we first started too. Just thinking about back when we used to get a little frustrated because people were like, "I'm not going on. Look at stuff."
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up.
I ain't going in here.
Yeah, we got a lot
of that, a lot of pushback, and that was something else that could have made us fold.
Right, definitely.
People, why they not coming? But eventually, we started getting like news coverage and social media, and that's the other thing. Oh, there's so much stuff to tell y'all. So
advertisement is
advertisement. We cannot. The city of Southfield will not allow us to put a sign in the front of the building.
I was going to add
up top
because
it's too much signage.
So we tried to do that, and we put a little pop-up thing out there. They snatched that up so quick, and so you wouldn't know that we're in the store unless you know that we're in the store.
And
so our social media, that's when we said, okay, we have to advertise. So the majority of our customers are from Facebook. I seen it on Instagram. I seen it on TikTok, and they know. Based off of what we put in there, we're inside the store. I put on Google, Lillie Bell's inside the store. Now we have other restaurants out here. It's Lillie Bell's, which is us. There's Lillie Mae's, Mary Bell's, and Libby's. And people are thinking that we are all
right.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I've had those other ones.
You've had, all right. Don't do it, Keila. So people, and that's been the other hiccup too, especially with there's a lot of people who think that Lillie Mae's and Lillie Bell's is the same people.
Yeah.
Totally different restaurants.
Yeah.
We've been fighting that to the bone.
Yeah.
That's not us. We're not them. They not us. It's so hard. But all we can do is just hope that people read inside the liquor store.
and unfortunately, sometimes people don't. And because even when I told people I were having you guys on the show, they were like, "Oh, I've been there. They're on Northwestern." I'm like, "That's not them." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "That's not them. They're on Southfield." "Oh, I've never been there." I'm like, "Okay, so you're gonna have to go." You know,
right?
But one thing my grandmother always told us is the fastest way to get something out is to tell somebody, because they can get around faster than a news carrier ever could, a mail carrier ever could. And it's the truth. So I think even in all businesses, like sharing each other's businesses, telling your friends, you know, giving all the good kudos, that is what helped build each other up, you know, faster than anything. I love when you come on and do your videos when you're making your macaroni and you know, you kind of get to see it up close in person, you know, back there doing your stuff. So those are personal videos. So like for me, I'm that person that's like, "Oh, that is so cool. I'll probably go there tomorrow." Because I like the personal videos that people do. You know, when people make things look like it's just too perfect, I'm not going to say that they don't make sales, because they do, because they have an audience that they cater to too. But I like to see the realness, you know. And that's what you do in your videos when you're making, okay, we're making pans for the holiday, and she'll put her camera up and show her making the macaroni or whatever. And to me, that's genuine. And it's also reminding me of like our culture, how we are, you know, when the old school culture of being back in the kitchen and just doing the real things. Like it makes me feel a little nostalgic, if that makes sense, you know.
Right. Anton says, no German chocolate cake.
Oh, okay.
No German chocolate. Man, I was hoping for that. Guess banana pudding is it? It is. I'm sure it's just as good. He says,
"Man, so why did I think he was saying guess blood pressure?" I was like, why would he be saying that? But okay, never mind. I was like, why would he say that? But it's banana pudding. Okay.
She has no filter today. Okay, so he says, hopefully you guys open another location. Hopefully the flavor will follow, and it will. So many businesses open second, third, and fourth locations, and the food is always different. Follow the recipes exactly, the blueprint, if you will. I'm just saying.
That's a very, very good point. So when we started hiring people, it became very difficult for them to duplicate the recipes that we have. And I remember trying to stay on. Oh God,
I stayed on.
It was so much pressure.
So many times.
I'll be like, I'm tired. I need somebody else to do it. So
heated.
And she's like, Janae, you can't mix. You was like, what? It was a okay.
Nuts.
The biggest issue was the macaroni.
Macaroni and cheese got to be
that right. Macaroni. She's like, she always said the macaroni got to be right. It got to be right. I'm like, okay, I'm about to just show such and such how to do it. No, you got to do the macaroni. And I'm like, but I'm tired. She'll say, okay, when you mix it up, somebody else can put it in the pan and put the cheese on top. But you gotta mix it.
It's got to be right.
And it's
got to be right.
And it's crazy because I've simplified the recipes to where anybody can do it. In my opinion, they're extremely simple, but it's always something. Somebody didn't measure I have it down to where the water for the greens has to be measured. They just fill up a pot of water. What you have to measure this water. Yeah. And I make up little cups of seasoning. All you do is pour the seasoning in and put the greens in there and let it go. But they'll put too much water or they'll put not enough water. And I'm just like, how? I literally did the hard work for you and it'll throw the whole thing off.
Wow. I tell you could literally have 5 people following the same exact recipe, and every last person's dish will take
comes out different. And I learned that in culinary school.
Yes.
Yep, I learned it because I had a baking class, and first of all, I hate baking. I'm not a baker. I'm a cook. But in baking, you have to follow that recipe to the letter.
Yes.
Or because it happened to me. I did a little bit too much baking soda, and it was like, why? Right. And it was off. And I'm like, well, I'm not a baker. And they're like, and my teacher told me, I've duplicated this recipe over about 20 years of teaching, and everybody does it different. I'm like, that is crazy. But yeah, like I said, I've tried to simplify it to where you don't have to measure hardly anything, and it'll still just come out different. I don't know what
Yeah. I know what you mean, because when I do my famous spaghetti that you guys got to taste, I do it perfectly every time, but I just can't let my recipe out.
Well, I want y'all to know I have yet to taste that spaghetti. So if you know how good it tastes, then so do I. Okay.
Okay.
One of these days.
No, truly, I'll make some. But anyway, I've just been so busy,
Yep, making
the name of the place is Lillie Bell.
Bells.
Lillie Bell.
And we are Lillie Bellians. That's what we are.
It is located at 25030 Southfield Road, inside of the liquor store. What's the name of the liquor store?
New Abbey
Liquor Store. Go inside of the store, and you'll be going inside of Lillie Bell. Thank you, ladies.
The challenge. I'm gonna do a challenge really quick because they made this reference more than once. The challenge is be patient with what you're doing and getting into. Don't give up. They have said that over and over continuously, and that's going to be the challenge. Do not give up on your dreams. Continue to fulfill your dreams. Be patient.
And be patient because they make your food to order.
Okay.
Right. That too. Right.
Well, thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
And don't hang up at the end.
Okay.
I guess I got time. Yep, be patient. Be patient, cousin. Be patient. This is not fast food, period.
Right.
You guys have a good night. Talk to you later. Aaron, you gonna say bye?
2 fingers.
See you later.